Is your passion killing you? Yeah, kinda. So what can we do? Well, for starters, I am always going to suggest therapy from now until the end of time. It is fantastic and it can do a lot for you. Now, there's always going to be two trains of thought. One, it's not for everybody, and two, it is way too expensive. But for the first part of it, if you do have the means and ability to go to therapy, it is not one size fit all and it is not cookie cutter. And you really need to kind of shop around and experiment and see which therapist works best for you. So please be careful with stuff like that. And next with completionism is shifting focus on the journey. I know. It's cliche. And you know what? Cliches exist for a reason. We get so locked in on getting 100% of a task or an accomplishment done that we will continuously go even if we're breaking ourselves down. So what's the point rather than just taking set breaks or being okay with completing certain percentage of tasks at a certain time rather than just trying to get everything done at once and it taking longer and the job probably being worse off. Improve posture, which I keep adjusting for, not for the lulz, but because it sucks, and I have to keep telling myself, and I always get reminded when I read it here on the prompter. Taking regular breaks. I've stood up quite a few times, even during this recording, to make sure that I'm doing okay, and then I've stretched, and I'm kind of moving around and feeling nice and fluid, making sure you're standing a little bit in between long sessions of sitting. If you're working on the computer, if you're doing editing, raising up your monitor so that it's more at eye level, sitting further back in your chair to support yourself. You might feel ridiculous, but it's feel ridiculous or be in pain. It's okay. No one else is here to see me except, all of you, and that's okay. We're fine. We're good. With perfectionism, I think ERP is a fantastic start, which stands for exposure and response prevention, which refers to the practice of confronting the thoughts and situations that make you feel anxious. And then there's self-comparison training, which I feel like we all need to practice, myself included. I cannot tell you how many times I have looked left and right and seen the creators on this platform and they are soaring, and all I can do is compare them to me, which is stupid and a waste of my time. I know for a fact that this video is the best video I've ever made. The time, the editing, the hours, the research, I have put so much love and work into this. But if I'm trying to compare it to Johnny James or Brenda Beal, then I'm gonna drive myself insane. And it's hard. It's really difficult. Not only are we in this social media world constantly, but it's acceptable and cheered on more than it was in the past of being creative, being your best self, and throwing yourself at your art or your passion. Now everybody's really excited about doing what they love, but in turn, you're also seeing what everybody else is doing with what they love, and you're going, I'm not there. Well, where are you? Where have you been? How much progress have you made? If you can honestly tell yourself, I'm damn better than I was back then, or X amount of days or months or years ago, then you're doing a great job and keep it up. Setting realistic goals and management techniques. If you've got a goal and you set it here as a perfectionist, what I want you to do is slap that hand down, and then what I want you to do after that is slap it down again, because this is probably a really hard and unrealistic goal to hit, and this is probably going to be challenging in and of itself. Really reevaluate where you have been, the pitfalls that you've made in setting these really high expected goals, and then lower it down to the best of your ability so that it is something that you can get to and be proud of yourself that you got there to keep going. Because if you don't reach this unrealistic goal that's way up here, all you're going to do is just get mad at yourself and angry at yourself, and then you're going to try to set an even higher goal that you can't get there anyway, because this first goal was already hard enough as it is. And I'm no better, honestly. I sat here and edited a small shark fin that was slapped on the map, and I'm sitting there going, no one else is going to notice it, but I'm beating myself up trying to make sure that it's just perfect and just faded enough on the fin so it looks a little bit better and a little bit more realistic, when the amount that I did would have been fine. I've stayed up late, far too late than I needed to, but doing this project really made me take a step back as well and go, you gotta get sleep. You gotta work on this and that. If you're getting frustrated during these recordings of you trying to read a certain part of the script and you're not nailing it, get up and take a break and walk around, man. There's plenty of time, but if you try to keep pushing and forcing yourself and forcing it, you're just gonna get more frustrated. You're just gonna keep messing up, and it's just gonna keep manifesting and building upon itself until you're just screaming and flailing around, you're all pissed off. Please give yourself grace, give yourself time, and give yourself the love that you deserve when you're trying to pursue these goals in mind. There's no point in going after it if you're not going to be able to do it for your whole life, if that's what you really want to do. If you have an experience with your passion and you've sort of seen the highs and lows that you've gone through, please put it in the comments below, especially if there's stuff that's worked for you that you don't mind sharing with other people. Beyond that, take your time, take a breath, and take care. Okay? Bye!
Dad passed away, unfortunately. Can you sort of speak a little bit to where you were at age-wise, time-wise during all that?
Yeah, I was in college